Welcome to Education Matters Student Awards Information Session. In this presentation, you will learn more about the different award opportunities available through Education Matters, how to apply for them, and receive some tips on how to have a successful application. There's a lot of incredible opportunities out there, so let's get started. In 2020, Education Matters distributed $490,000 in student award payments, so there really are a lot of wonderful opportunities out there for students. There are many myths and misconceptions that students have when it comes to applying for student awards. The first misconception students have is that they have to be a straight A student to apply for awards, or that awards are only for students with high academic averages. This is not true. While Education Matters certainly has awards that recognize students for their academic achievement, many awards do not have this criteria. Some awards are based strictly on financial need, a student's contribution to their school or community, or what a student wants to study in post-secondary. There are many different types of awards with many different criteria to assist students of different strengths and backgrounds. Another misconception students have when it comes to applying for student awards is that it's a lot of work to apply. While yes, it is some work, it is actually very easy to apply for Education Matters awards. We have two deadlines, which are May 1st and May 30th, and everything is available on our website at educationmatters.ca. Many students also feel that there are so many students applying for student awards that their chances of receiving one is very low. While Education Matters may receive a lot of applications overall, we do not necessarily receive a lot of applications for every award. So have confidence and apply for as many awards as you possibly can, and you may be pleasantly surprised. The 2021 application cycle will launch March 1st. Everything will be available on Education Matters website, which is www.educationmatters.ca, and will include access to the online application system, student award information and instructions, lists of awards offered, the terms of reference or criteria for each award, an FAQ page for applicants and award recipients, tutorial videos, as well as an award applicant's handbook. All student award information is available on Education Matters website, educationmatters.ca. The student award information can be found by clicking on the Students link up at the top of the screen or clicking on the Student Awards button towards the lower center. One of the resources on the website you will find is a frequently asked questions page where we address the most commonly asked questions by award applicants and recipients. Please refer to this page for any questions you might have, and feel free to contact Education Matters for any questions that are not answered here. On the website, you will also find a chart that lists all of the awards that are currently being offered by Education Matters. This chart is meant to be a tool that students can use to identify certain awards they may be interested in applying for based on particular criteria. Please note that this is meant as a tool only, and it is still very important that students go in and read the criteria for each of these awards, as the criteria on the website will provide much more detail than what is presented in the chart. For more information on the awards that are currently being offered and their respective criteria, you can click on the Search Student Awards link. Here, you will be able to search by system-wide awards or school-specific awards. You can also click on the corresponding colored block to enter the award criteria. After clicking on one of the awards listed on our Search Student Awards page, you will be taken into the corresponding criteria for that award. Here, you will find information such as the value of the award, the number of awards being offered, and any corresponding criteria such as field of study, essay requirements, reference requirements, and whether students need to be attending post-secondary in a specific location or entering a program of a particular length. It will also let students know how long they have to claim the award should they be successful. For more information on how to apply for student awards, you can click on the How to Apply for Student Awards link. Here, you will find a useful video that walks you through using the online application system, and you will also find a link that will take you directly into this site. When arriving at the login page for our online portal, you will be asked to create a new account or log in using an existing account. After creating or logging into their account, students will be asked to complete a brief eligibility quiz. This quiz can be accessed by clicking on Apply, located at the top of the screen. Once this quiz is completed, students will be presented with a list of awards they are possibly eligible to apply for. It is very important that students read the questions very carefully and answer them correctly and honestly. After completing the quiz, it is very important that students examine the list of awards that they are presented with and read the award criteria very carefully. Once they've reviewed the criteria, they will then be able to go in and apply for the awards. Tips for students for using the online system. First, students should avoid creating multiple accounts in the system. If a student needs to update the contact information, they can do so at any time by logging into their account. They can also contact Education Matters, and we will be happy to assist the student with updating their account information. If a student has forgotten their password or is unsure whether they have an account, they can use the Forgot Password tool on the login page, or again, they can contact Education Matters for assistance. Students should also avoid using their CBE or CSSD email address when setting up the account. The reason for this is that once a student graduates from their respective high school, these email accounts are no longer active, and Education Matters will not be able to contact students if we have questions about their application or to let them know that they have received an award. It is absolutely critical that the contact information on the account is current and valid. When it comes to taking the eligibility quiz, students who created an account prior to the March 1st application launch do not need to create a new account in order to take the quiz. They can simply log back into their existing account on or after March 1st, and they will be able to take the eligibility quiz at that time. Students should be aware that once they complete the quiz, they cannot retake or edit the quiz without contacting Education Matters. If a student has made an error on their quiz, they should contact Education Matters right away, and if appropriate, Education Matters can then reset the quiz and allow the student to take it again. They should not be setting up a new account to take the quiz again. It should also be noted that the list of awards that appears after students take the quiz are possible or recommended awards only. Students must still review their award criteria very carefully to ensure they meet all of the criteria and that they are interested in applying for an award before beginning an application. If a student is applying for multiple awards, they should take advantage of the copy feature that is located in the top right-hand corner of every application. This tool will allow students to copy any repeated information from one application into another. Given this, it is likely a good idea for students to start with a lengthy application, as this will allow more information to be copied into future applications. For the endorsement section, these responses can also be copied into multiple applications once completed. This information will not copy automatically, and students will need to use the copy feature in order for the responses to appear in other applications. Students do not need to send multiple endorsement requests to their scholarship coordinator or counselor, and counselors are not required to complete this information for a student more than once. Essays can be written outside of the system in a Word document, for example, and copied and pasted into the system. Students should make sure that their essay is on topic as per the award criteria, and they should not be using one generic essay for every award. Students should also be checking every file they attach or upload to their application to make sure that the files are correct and that they open properly. Once applications are submitted, they cannot be edited or changed. Students should keep their applications in draft until they are certain they are complete. If a student needs to make a change to a submitted application prior to the application deadline, they can contact Education Matters and we will be happy to return the application to draft. Application can be submitted before the endorsement information is completed by the counselor. If the endorsement information has not been completed on the application deadline, students must still submit their applications on time. Counselors are not required to complete the endorsement information by the deadline, however, are asked to do so as soon as possible so that students can copy the responses into multiple applications and so that the review process is not delayed. When it comes to applying for Education Matters awards, students should apply in their grade 12 year or the year they are receiving their high school diploma. If a student has completed their high school requirements and is planning to return simply to improve their grade in a particular course, they should still apply at the time of graduation. Returning grade 12 students may be eligible to apply, provided they have not applied for Education Matters awards previously. If a student is unsure if they are eligible to apply or is unsure when they should be applying, they can contact Education Matters for assistance. When it comes to financial need, many students are unsure whether they meet this criteria. It should be noted that Education Matters does not use a particular income level as a cutoff to determine who is eligible for financial need awards. To assess financial need, in addition to family income, Education Matters takes a number of factors into consideration, such as unemployment, illness or medical situations, family size, etc. In addition to providing current tax information or proof of income, students should also provide as much background information on their family's financial situation as possible. It should also be noted that Education Matters is assessing the family's financial need and not solely the students. For example, students whose parents have a high income and the students want to pay for their post-secondary on their own, these students would not be good candidates for financial need awards. Rather, these students should be applying for awards where financial need is not a criteria. If a student does not have the appropriate notices of income tax assessment by the application deadline, they should be providing some other type of documentation that proves the family's income for the previous year. Then, when the official tax documentation is received, this should be provided to Education Matters as soon as possible, even if it's after the application deadline. Failure to provide adequate proof of income could result in a student's disqualification from financial need awards. Students who are living on their own and/or are solely financially responsible for all of their living, medical, and personal needs at the time of application are considered independent and are not required to provide their parents' tax information. Being 18 or simply paying for a few expenses while living at home and still being primarily supported by parents does not qualify a student as being independent. International students are eligible to apply for some, but not all of Education Matters awards. These students should complete the eligibility quiz, identifying themselves as international students in order to determine which awards they can apply for. When it comes to reference letters, to ensure authenticity, it is extremely important that all letters are signed and whenever possible that they are printed on letterhead. Letters should also include contact information such as a phone number or an email address for the reference in case Education Matters requires additional information. Students are welcome to use the same reference letter for multiple awards. However, they should ensure that the letter is appropriate for all of the awards it is being used for, and students are also advised not to attach a letter to an application that refers to a different award. Students should also provide their reference with the award criteria, as this will allow the reference to write a more appropriate and impactful letter for the student. Many applications also ask students to list their school and community volunteer activities. Due to the current pandemic, Education Matters understands that students' ability to participate in these activities may have been impacted. While students are still expected to meet these criteria, if this is the case, students are asked to share other ways that they may have contributed to their school or community during the pandemic. Students should also keep Education Matters informed of important updates. This includes changes to contact information, Changes to study plans, such as post-secondary institution, field of study, or the time frame for attending post-secondary, or other awards or scholarship won. Other tips for a successful application include: do not apply for awards that you are not eligible for. Read the award criteria carefully, and if you are unsure whether you meet the criteria, please contact Education Matters. Please ensure that your applications are complete and that you're providing all of the required information. Failure to provide the requested information may result in you being disqualified from consideration. Also, be honest and answer all questions as truthfully as you can. And finally, if you're fortunate enough to receive a student award from Education Matters, say thank you. These awards are made possible through the generosity of a variety of donors, and it truly means a lot to these donors to hear from the students that have benefited from their generosity. For the selection process, after the application deadline, all submissions are individually reviewed, and applicants who do not meet the award criteria are disqualified. Short lists are then created and forwarded to donors or committee for final selection. Some awards are selected immediately, and others are selected by our Student Awards Committee when they typically meet in August. Recipients are then contacted and provided with paperwork and the award information within a couple of weeks of selections being made. If you have questions or need help along the way, please feel free to reach out to your scholarship coordinator at your high school or to contact Education Matters at any time. You can also find information on our website at educationmatters.ca, and you can also follow us on social media.